Thank you for joining me, everyone. President Trump is playing into enemy hands when he talks about prayer shawls found on the border and women with duct tape and that sort of thing. Now it's being said that he got that from a movie. And it trivializes a very important issue, obviously, and that's of a concern. And my hope is that next week in the State of the Union address, he avoids this kind of rhetoric, because it's typical actually of his enemies who project when they complain about it. This is what they do. If you listen to their speeches, it's all about telling, often terrible or exaggerated, but this is what the left calls atrocity propaganda. And it's not helpful for President Trump to engage in it. It doesn't look right. I mean, it's a temptation because the left does it and they get away with it and they promote it. But the fact is that President Trump, in order to get what we need in this country, which is a secure southern border and the funding that's required to get that border, he needs to completely step away from that kind of rhetoric and get into the seriousness of what it takes to create the border, build the wall, why it's necessary, and stick to the facts and stick to the technical aspects. That's the only way we're going to win this thing. We can't go on their playing field, because if we go on their playing field, we'll lose. Anyway, we have to stick to the facts in order to get this thing done. There's just too much at stake to be messing around with these kinds of antics. We have to focus on the importance, which is that our national sovereignty is the key. And of course, that's the reason why the left is opposed to securing the border, because they don't like national sovereignty. They want to merge the United States into a Western Hemispheric Union. And this was obvious during the administrations of George W. Bush and Barack Obama. And the President Trump entity that is separate from other political entities and ask other nations to do the same. That's the very essence of his message and his movement. And this is the very core of why they despise Trump and why they want to stop Trump before he becomes too dangerous by waking too many people up. So I think that if he sticks to the themes of why it's important to build the southern border, what it means to national sovereignty, what it means to American culture, what it means to the right of any nation to secure who enters their national home, rather than focus on atrocity stories of horrors that have resulted from criminals crossing the border, then I think that would be a much more effective way and a much more lethal way to get done what he needs to do, which is secure the national border, what any sane